I the asshole for refusing to be my best friend's maid of honor after she told me my fiance is not invited to the wedding? I've been dating my fiance for 10 years and we're expecting a baby due in March. Best friend is getting married in a month and she's been with their fiance for a year and they got engaged within 6 months. It's rushed in my opinion, but that's her decision. They got engaged around April and she asked me to be her maid of honor. She's planning on having a huge celebration with 200 plus guests. Naturally, I assume my fiance would be invited. My best friend has known him for 10 years and they're friendly. Also, most of our friends are married, so their spouses get an automatic invite. During a chat, I brought up my husband's suit and she said, but I never told you he was invited. She said only married and long-term couples. Am I the asshole for refusing to be my best friend's maid of honor after she told me my fiance is not invited to the wedding? I reminded her I'm engaged to that man, we're expecting a kid together, and I've been with him for 10 years. Also that we're planning to get eloped in a few months. She said she doesn't see our relationship as valid as it took us 10 years to make our relationship legal, and that our relationship is probably not that strong. I told her that's not her decision to make and that she doesn't get to decide whether my relationship is valid or not. She said we may break up, so she doesn't want an ex in her photos. I told her she's being ridiculous with her bizarre beliefs and reminded her that I've been with my man for 10 years while she's been with hers for less than 1 year. I told her I'm dropping the maid of honor role because I refuse to be disrespected like.
Is she wrong for doing this? Did you make a cake for this woman recently? Yes, she's a regular of mine. Why? I went to a party, and the cake looked like the one on your Instagram but with fake flowers added. That's my cake. She even replaced my business card with hers. Hey, a friend of mine found your business page. Are you reselling my cakes? I bought it. What does it matter to you what I do with them after? I mean, you're taking credit for my work and charging double for adding dollars to or flowers to it. And your point? You made your money. I'm making mine. You have me blocked from your page, so you obviously know you're in the wrong. Did you tell me I couldn't sell it? Ethically, I shouldn't have to tell you that. It's plagiarism. Legally, I bought it and can do what I want with it. Plus, I changed it.
Here's a story time of how me and my sisters almost got kidnapped. So my mom and her boyfriend were just going to go out and have a night to themselves, and I was home watching my two little sisters. At the time, I was 13, my two little sisters were 9 and 6. So around 6 p.m., my mom and her boyfriend leave. Me and my sisters just sit down and watch a movie, and then I get up to make them dinner. I get paranoid really easily, and while I was making them dinner, I look out the kitchen window, and I thought I seen somebody in the backyard. I text my mom and she gets on the cameras that are outside and she said nobody was out there. I continue making them dinner, we sit down and eat, and then we start watching another movie. Then we start hearing knocking. It wasn't coming from any of the doors, it was coming from the side of the house. I didn't want to bother my mom on her one night out, so I just took the kids and we went upstairs and watched a movie in my room. My 6-year-old sister at the time went to the bathroom and she came back in literal tears. She was literally crying so hard until I finally got her to stop and tell me what was wrong. She said as she was walking back from the bathroom, she seen somebody downstairs. I quietly locked my door and I put my sisters in the closet and I called my mom right away.
Is it okay that my boyfriend is trying to convince me to let him do the dirty with my cousin? My boyfriend used to be my sneaky link before we made it official. At the beginning, neither of us wanted a relationship, but the more we kept hooking up, the more we wanted to be with each other. So naturally, we hung out all the time and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And of course, I really wanted him to ask me, but I would never bring it up myself. So when he finally did, I said yes. But here's the thing. My boyfriend asked me if we could have an open relationship when we started. At first I said no, but then I thought about it some more. If he wants to see other girls and cheat on me, he will. And because of the way we started, I knew what he was like. So I thought to myself, it's probably better to just have an open relationship than to be wondering if he's cheating on me. So after a few weeks of me asking him, I said yes. But I laid down some rules. If he was gonna hook up with somebody else, he needed to tell me. He kept telling me that it was better to just not talk about it, but I told him I wanted to know the truth. A few months into the relationship, everything was fine. According to him, he was not hooking up with anybody. And I know that I wasn't either, even though the option was there if we both wanted to. This is around the time that my cousin came home to visit from college. Growing up, everyone thought that her and I were identical twins. We really do look so much alike. We both have the same exact body type, really similar features, we both have long black hair, and we even dress the same. So it's natural that people thought we were sisters. I told my cousin about my boyfriend and she wanted to meet him. So I had a dinner at my place. As soon as my boyfriend saw her, he basically started drooling. It made me so angry, but I had to keep my cool. Throughout the dinner, my boyfriend kept complimenting her. He talked about how much her and I looked alike and how it would be any guy's fantasy to watch us do it. My cousin was super uncomfortable, so I asked him to stop Is it okay that my boyfriend is trying to convince me to let him do the dirty with my cousin? Because we have an open relationship, he feels like he can do certain things in front of me. For example, like flirting with other women in front of me. While we were having dinner with my cousin who was visiting, he kept making comments about how hot she was and how her and I look exactly like twins. My cousin was clearly super uncomfortable, so I asked him to stop, which he did. That's when my boyfriend dragged me into our bedroom and asked me if he could do it with her. I said absolutely not. One of the rules in our open relationship is that we can't choose anybody we already know. He told me that he technically did not know my cousin. I told him family was off limits. He asked me to think about it. I drove my cousin home, and that's when she told me that my boyfriend was really hot. And I was shocked. I thought she was uncomfortable at dinner. I pulled the car over and asked her if she was interested in him. That's when she said she overheard our conversation. Yep, she heard when my boyfriend was asking me if he could do it with her. She started to laugh and told me that it was okay, and that she wouldn't tell my parents. Then she told me that an open relationship is always a bad idea, and that nothing good will come of it. I asked her again if she was interested in him, and she said maybe. She says, "You should just let us do it." Part 3 is That's when my cousin tells me, "You should just let us do it." I looked over at her and I said, "Are you crazy?" And she said, "If you guys already have an open relationship, what's the difference?" I told her I wasn't going to be comfortable with her and my boyfriend doing it, and that she needed to get that idea out of her head. And she started trying to do reverse psychology on me. She said if I didn't let them do it, that he was going to eventually resent me, and that he would see me as the bad guy, and that he'd probably start looking for other girls. I could not believe that my own cousin was trying to do that to me. I started to cry and I asked her if she loved me at all. She then hugged me and says, "Of course I love you. This is the best thing for your relationship." Part of me started to actually believe what she was saying. I thought maybe he will resent me if I don't let them do it. After that, I didn't talk to my cousin for a few days. During that time, all my boyfriend did was ask me if he could see her again. I made the mistake of telling him that my cousin was down, and then he started pushing even more. He promised me he would only do it with her once, and that nothing would change between him and I. Here's the other thing. There's a guy who's always asked me out on dates, but I always say no. He contacted me and told me that he was finally single and that he really wants to see me. I told my boyfriend that if he was going to do it with my cousin, then I could do it with this guy. That's when my boyfriend said no because I had feelings for this guy. He's arguing that he has no feelings for my cousin, and that if I do it with this other guy, it would be like cheating because I do have feelings for him, which is true. I don't know what to do, and I am so confused. I could just go behind my boyfriend's back, but part of me feels
My fiancé and I are high school sweethearts, and we've been together for about 12 years. We were engaged for around 3 when he passed away due to an accident in the beginning of 2020. A few weeks ago, his brother came to visit me, and he's planning to propose to his girlfriend. He asked me if he could have the family's engagement ring. The ring my fiancé gave me is a family ring which had been in the family for generations. I have been wearing this ring for almost 3 years, and it's a symbol of our relationship. I don't feel ready to give it up. When I told him this, he got upset and said it's a family ring and it belongs to him now that his brother is dead. I told him to get out. I called his mom to let her know why I wanted to keep the ring. She told me she wouldn't have minded if I had been married to him, but I wasn't, so I'm not part of the family, and therefore I should return the ring. She said I'll move on one day, and it's unfair to hold on to a ring that I will never wear again, especially a ring that belongs to her family for generations. I would have at least considered giving back the ring in a few years. I just can't bear the thought of parting with this ring now. So I told her I'm sorry that she felt that way, but her son gave me this ring and I'm not giving it back. Since then, his mom and his brother have been spamming my phone with messages and calls about how I'm trying to steal their family ring. So am I wrong for wanting to keep the ring?
Am I wrong for being an ungrateful, spoiled brat for the Christmas gift my husband got me? I, 35 female, want to begin by saying this, that in every holiday, me and my husband, male 33, both work decent jobs, set separate budgets for gifts. He uses his own money to buy gifts, and I do the same. We've been married for almost a year, together for 3. This is our first Christmas as a married couple. He made a list of everyone he was trying to buy a gift for. I stumbled upon the list by accident and out of curiosity decided to take a look. I found that his friends and coworkers were on top of his list with gifts that cost over $5,000 total. For example, he got a $600 wristwatch for his coworkers, a $250 bracelet for his sister-in-law, and a $900 workout gear for his friend. Damn! That's a nice-ass dude. What the hell? I wonder what he got you. There was more, but that's all I could remember. What made me upset was that when I got to my name, I saw that he bought me a $20 something kitchen spoon set, stainless steel. I was too shocked to ignore this, and I had a confrontation. My bad. I thought if he's spending all that kind of money on his friends and shit, I thought he'd at least get you something nice. He argued that A, it's his money and he's the one paying, so I should not control that. And B, his coworkers and friends are important to him and he's known them for ages. I don't like that response. What the heck? C, he said a gift should be appreciated no matter what it cost. But dude, you're getting her $20 fucking kitchen spoon and you're buying your friend a $900 workout gear. It's your first Christmas together as a married couple and you've only been married for what, a year, and you've only been together for 3? You can't lose a feeling that fast. I argued that he was disrespecting me and dismissing my feeling with the gift he chose to get me. Not to mention I spent a lot of money for his gifts to buy him his favorite shoe and gaming brands. But he got upset and said I was acting like an ungrateful, spoiled brat and urged me to get rid of this attitude and accept what I'm giving. The argument got worse and we stopped talking to each other. He still says I'm being ridiculous with my overreaction and should stop. So, did I overreact?
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1-year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And shit, I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
Did I break up with my boyfriend for fat shaming me? While he was in the Marines, I ended up gaining 40 pounds. I was super depressed and I didn't have a job and I missed him so much. One day he calls me and tells me that he's gonna be home in 2 weeks. And that's when I knew I needed to start dieting again. But then part of me remembered that my boyfriend liked me when I was thicker and curvier. So what I did was I cut down on all the fried foods, but I still kept eating a lot during the day, which basically helped me maintain the weight instead of just losing weight. In preparation for his coming home, I went to get my hair done, my nails done. I even got a facial and I went to get wax down there, which of course is super painful. I even went to pick up some lingerie because nothing fit me at the time. I also cleaned my entire apartment and cooked him a really nice meal. To tell you, I even called his mother to ask her for the recipes. I was so excited to see him. He finally shows up to my house and I have everything ready. But as soon as he sees me, he asks me what happened. I said, "What do you mean?" Then all he said was, "You're fat." At first I laughed because I thought he was joking. Then he says, "What's so funny?" It's like he was instantly angry. I told him I gained some weight and that I didn't bother losing it because he liked me curvy. That's when he said, "Yeah, I like you." Should I break up with my boyfriend for fat shaming me? After he told me I looked disgusting, I instantly broke out into tears. That's when he said, "What did you expect?" Then he said, "I've been away for months. The last thing I want to come home to is a huge gut." But then I started crying more and he kind of softened up. He said that we could work out together and that he could help me lose the weight. He then pulls up his phone and shows me a picture of what he thinks I should look like. It was basically some random Instagram model that he followed, who was actually way skinnier than I was when he first met me. For the next week, he barely touched me, and he would make little snide remarks every time he saw me eating. For example, one night we decided to watch a movie at my place. I asked him if he wanted any snacks, and he said no. Then I told him I was probably gonna make some popcorn and if he wanted any. That's when he said I needed to watch what I was eating, especially at night, and that the last thing I needed was snacks during a movie. This obviously hurt my feelings. And of course, I started dieting again, but this time I was even more strict about it.
Was she wrong to expose him? Receives Facebook message. I found your name on PayPal and was curious why my husband's sending you money. Hi, I hope I'm not ruining any surprise, but I have a treat business and selling gift boxes for Valentine's Day. I'm so sorry. I feel so silly. He's been acting off and I assumed the worst. Few days after Valentine's Day. I only got some flowers for Valentine's Day and was curious what my husband purchased. He purchased a set of naughty message berries with the name Ashley. That's my best friend. I'm so sorry.
You had no right to tell my wife my order. This is a breach of contract. You need to tell her it was a mistake, or I will sue you for slander.
No, we had no contract. Maybe just don't cheat.